Hey everybody, this is Pat Mesiti. It looks like the World Economic Forum have got their fingers in another pie, namely the UK. Now, the reason I'm saying that, as I wait some of you to come on in, is because if any of you may or may not be aware, but Liz Truss, the new UK Prime Minister, was a speaker at the World Economic Forum. As a matter of fact, her agenda could be read right out of the World Economic Forum's handbook. And let me just say this right up front. This lady intends to keep fueling Klaus Schwab's war because they're out there to basically keep people under control. And if you listen to the rhetoric globally around the world right now, it's the same thing. Food shortage, climate change, inflation going through the roof, petrol prices, unemployment, and it goes on and on and on and on. Now, here in Australia, we have another interest rate rise, the highest in, I think, whatever it was, 14 odd years. This is aimed at, let me just put it to you simply. If you have a mortgage of about $500,000, your repayment just went up about $600. And over a million, it's over like $1,100. And that might not sound like a lot, but believe you me, for the average person, that is a lot. And their aim, they say, is until we bring inflation under control. You guys put us in the situation where inflation is out of control. Government did this. The people did not do this. So the answer is to punish the people until they get them under control. This is not about getting inflation under control. If inflation is out of control, stop government spending. Stop this incredible handout. You want to get inflation under control. How about we first start, Mr. Albanese, with giving Australians back their jobs because they lost their jobs due to the former 7 or 8 portfolio holding Prime Minister mandated people that if they didn't comply to his globalist agenda, which he did through the states. You know, interestingly enough, I had lunch with a friend of mine, a very, very well-known marketer. He said, Pat, do any of your Christian friends out there, some of your pastor friends and so forth, friends, can't they see that what you said was right? I said, well, you know what? When you kill a sacred cow or you make hamburgers from a sacred cow, they're not that keen to get back and say, yeah, you know what, you were right. Sadly, what I said was right. Sadly. Didn't listen then, still not listening now. But let me get back to what I'm saying. This interest rate that will continue on, mark my words, the Reserve Bank of Australia will keep doing it. Why? It's happening globally. Food shortages, it's happening globally. World Economic Forum place leaders, it's happening globally. I don't understand what part of global agenda some people will not see. Will not see. This is a march towards a one world government, a one world currency, a domination, a global agenda. And all you've got to do is look at what's happening. You are literally seeing Bible prophecy before your very eyes. I think it was Larry Norman once saying something that said, a piece of bread will buy a bag of gold. It's talking about inflation. Now, I'm telling you right now that this will continue. And the banksters out there, while they say that we're doing this to bring inflation under control, no, they are not. They're doing it to bring you under control. That is the issue. Now, of course, as I said, the UK with Liz Truss now, who is a featured speaker at the World Economic Forum. I'm not telling porkies. You can look it up. You can see her speech there, where again, another leader, global leader, under the words of Klaus will be penetrate the governments, has one of their own or one of their admirers in a leadership position. Her policies do not represent what I would say are conservative. They do not. have a look at them. I don't have time to get into this rant. But I'm telling you, this global agenda is being driven, and it's being driven very, very hard. Now, next week, I'm going to be interviewing one of Australia's major political voices here. And I'm going to keep it under wraps until then. And they're going to lift the lid on some of this stuff. Now, what is Mr. Albanese, our wonderful Prime Minister, what does he come up with last week at the Job Summit, where he invited Alan Joyce, a man who illegally fired 1,900 odd people, asked him to speak. Funded by us, the taxpayers, by the way, Mr. Joyce is. What is Mr. Albanese's answer? Let's bring in 35,000 skilled workers. I don't know what planet this guy is on. Obviously, the World Economic Forum planet. We don't have a skills shortage in Australia. We have a mandate problem in Australia that he can overturn in a heartbeat. But sadly, doesn't fit the agenda. It doesn't fit the agenda. Let me remind you again. What the psalmist said when he said these words. He said, shall the throne of iniquity, which devises evil by law, have any fellowship with you? The answer is no. And sadly, this extreme left-wing agenda is being pumped out. It didn't work for a lot of people because they failed to comply to their medical stuff. Now they're going the economy route. Then they're going to go the food shortage route. Then they're going to go the energy route until people bow their knees. But here's the thing. We will not comply. We will not comply. This business about having cars charged up by electricity. Did you see what happened in California? They told people you can't charge up your cars anymore. This is about globalist control. And the sooner people wake up, we may get a bit of an awakening. Now, as I've mentioned in the previous weeks, we're starting our events, our awakening rallies, starting the 18th of September in Bow Desert. 18th to the 25th, we're going to be there the 7 straight days. I'm bringing a worship team. It's going to be great. It's going to be powerful. I'm bringing my great friend Steve Penning to teach in the morning, to speak about prophetic things and things that are happening right now in front of our eyes. And they are morning and evening. So you want to make sure you're part of it. And next week, again, we're going to be helping you guys to get your financial life in order. But in the meantime, you've got to keep your ears open. You've got to keep your eyes open, folks. And we are not deceived by the rhetoric. We are not deceived by the rhetoric. The deceived say, oh, no, it's just, I remember when interest rates were 18%. But there was not the government control like now. It's completely different. It is completely different. When a Prime Minister says he's going to bring 35,000 skilled migrants to Australia, why doesn't the Prime Minister, who was elected by the people of Australia, stop betraying his countrymen that elected him and that pay his salary and give them the jobs? By the way, I've got no problem with immigration. I am the son of an immigrant. Just remember that for those of you that think I've got a problem with immigration. No, I do not. I do not have a problem with immigration. I've got a problem with not looking after our own. That's what I've got a problem with. Housing shortage, rental crisis, rampant throughout Australia. Where in the world is he going to house these people? Oh, that's right. They built some quarantine centres. Remember those? 400 million up here. One in Melbourne, one up here, one huge one that the government built. Your money, our money. And they tell me that inflation is out of control. No, government is out of control. Government spending, government wastage. This referendum that they're doing, they're not listening to people like Senator Jacinta. This whole voicing is nothing but a crock of crap, trying to appease elitist people against their own Indigenous community. This is not helping people at all. What in the world is a welcome to country going to do to help the Indigenous people of this country? And don't tell me it gives them respect and blah, blah, blah. They can't even hang the Aboriginal flag up properly. So don't talk to me about respect and honoring our Indigenous people. You wanna help the Indigenous people? Then listen to senators like Senator Jacinta, who's out there really caring for the people, really caring, not doing tokenism to appease our white social conscience. Because that's all it is, trying to look good. That's all it is. Nothing to do with helping our Indigenous community, who, by the way, should have our help and support. So please don't say that I'm not saying that we should support and help and blah, blah, blah. We must. We should. We should. But we shouldn't be helping people. See, we should be helping people that cannot work or that are in need. But we shouldn't be helping people that are well-bodied and can work. At the same time, we shouldn't be taking away jobs from Australians and bringing imports in that don't even stand for our values, half of them. Seriously, the world has gone mad. The inmates are running the asylum. I want to encourage you folks to make your voice be heard. Now, folks, if you go to mesitilive.com, you'll be able to find all our dates, not all, but our dates for Toowoomba between the 9th and the 12th of October, our dates for Perth on the first weekend of December. I know it's a little bit early, but we're believing for big crowds. Our events in Bow Desert, 18th to the 25th, and of course, Hervey Bay coming up as well, just securing a venue up there. These are going to be revival meetings. We need a revival, an awakening of spirit, an awakening of soul. The soul of this country is sick. I'm telling you, the soul of this country is sick. A spiritual awakening, an awakening of the soul, an economic revival, and I might say environmental revival, not the way they think it should happen, but the way we know it should happen. So join us. Anyway, thanks for listening today. I just wanted to come on and thank you all for your wonderful support, your kind words, your great encouragement. I'm so grateful. And I've got more to say later on in the week. So God bless you. And please share this message. By the way, if you don't follow us on Instagram, if you go to mesiti.com/links, you can follow us on Instagram. Of course, we've been shadow banned over there. And what I need most of you to do, if not all of you do, is to hightail it over to Rumble so we can be ahead of the deletes, as we call them. We don't call them elites here. We call them the deletes. Thank you for listening. God bless you.